YouTube! I'm back, baby! I'm excited. It's your boy, Johnny Rizzo. It's been a while. Jonathan Rizzo. I know, no, you haven't heard of me before. It's okay. You're gonna though. This is gonna be big. Oh, so make sure you like and subscribe. That's one of those things. You gotta do it. Got some advice. Tips for young ad guys and girls just getting in the business. 5 of them. 5 tips. We're gonna go through them. I've been there, guys, and it's a tough business. I figured, if I can start off here with some tips for younger guys and girls going through what maybe make it easier, maybe get ahead a little faster than I did. You know what I mean? Make your way a little easier. So, anyways, without further ado, let's get started. First, tip number 1. This is number 1. I think it's really incredibly important to know some hard skills, and by that I mean learn software. Number 1, learn some software. Whatever you want to do, whatever your thing is in the business, if you want to be a videographer, if you want to do the video side, and that's my expertise, that's my area. I make videos. Shoot some videos and then go and learn to edit. Learn, anybody can shoot a video with their phone. All right. Learn to be an editor, After Effects, motion graphics. That's incredible stuff for a skill set. But just basics, if you're not there yet and you're really just beginning, learning how to edit is an invaluable skill. Just the basics. It's going to put you way ahead of the curve if even if you're not the one editing, if you know how to do it, you can think ahead in the process. If you're helping create videos with a team, for example, say if you're at an agency already, all right, and you are working with a video team or inside, outside, it doesn't matter. You'll know what needs to be done later in the process, and you can hopefully visualize shots, and you can say, oh, we're gonna have to cut to a different angle. If you learn a little bit about the rules of filmmaking, learn a little bit about editing. If you're a graphic designer, learn InDesign. You know what I mean? Learn some photo editing software if you want. Photoshop is great if you're gonna be a photographer. And again, learn just basics if you want. If you're not there yet, learn how to put text on a photo. All right. If you're in Illustrator, learn how to basic color theory and learn how to lay stuff out and make collage type stuff if you want. I started out Photoshop like 2. It was a long time ago. Photoshop. Anyways. A long time ago. I was 15 years old in high school. I started learning it. I was just taking stupid pictures and cutting out the backgrounds in weird ways. I made flyers for a band. You know what I mean? But I would take a picture and then I'd write on the side of it and make it it was the beginnings of advertising. I didn't realize at the time I was learning how to do that, but that's how I started. Real early. If you want to be a writer, copywriter, so important. All right, you need to learn really high-level writing skills. Again, so important. If you want to learn Microsoft Word, the ins and outs of it, how to format stuff, everything in different ways. If you want to, maybe learn Excel, the Microsoft Office suite is a huge software suite to learn. PowerPoint, huge in business, right? You need to learn that stuff. If you're not good at it already, go get good at it. If you want to learn to be more creative, learn the Adobe suite. I used to be on Final Cut Pro till Final Cut Pro 7, and then Final Cut X or 10 came out, and I tried to make the switch. It was terrible. I ended up going to Adobe. But I love Adobe. They made it, they use the same hotkeys. So I learn the Adobe suite if you want. Learn creative softwares. Some kind of software, you got to do it. It's the only way to get ahead. It's the first place to start. Tip number 2, learn to sell. It's going to help you in all different ways. Learning to sell, for me, I had basically lessons. I had a week-long class when I started selling cars. All right, and that was after I had been doing marketing for the car dealership group for a year and a half. Learning to sell took my career to the next level, though. I learned really what I was doing in marketing from that. I mean, sales, even if you're in retail, doing more of an in-depth training, I think is applicable to every aspect of life. All right, learning a couple big things. Be genuine. All right. How does that not help you in everything in life? But people want to buy from somebody who's genuine. You want to, tell the truth. If it's not a good fit for them, don't sell it to them. If you're just trying to help people out, if they're looking to buy something, they'll buy it. If they're not, they won't. Don't force people in anything. But if they need a little help getting over that edge, some kind of help them if they need it. It's okay. Just don't do anything don't push them into something they shouldn't be getting into, whatever it is. I learned a needs-based sales approach. So there are feature dumps and there are needs-based approaches to sales. So when you're going to sell something, you can say I learned from a guy who wrote the sales manual for Xerox, all right? He said that when they were selling copiers back in the 70s and 80s, that they would, there were features on the thing, but the secretaries who were going to use them didn't care that, about how to program it in different ways and how the software inside it worked and all this. They wanted to see it spit out a ton of papers, all right? They wanted to see it spit out 100 papers at a time. That's the key. So they needed to print things fast and to make accurate copies very fast, all right? And he showed them how to do that. That's it. And that's really all they needed to buy. So when I was selling cars, people, soccer moms wanted safety. I showed them safety stuff. Young kids buying a new car, they wanted speed, and and their parents wanted to know that it had a seatbelt. So I showed them what they wanted to see, and they all wanted to buy a car though. I wasn't pushing them into something they either couldn't afford or didn't want. I was just, hey, you want a car? I got you. Always Be Closing. ABC, great movie. Go look that one up. Always be closing wherever you are. If you're at a restaurant, you're talking to some people, just meeting people, you bump into somebody in a line, you can sell to people. Especially if you're a creative type. A lot of people, if you finally talk to them for a little bit, you find out, hey, they're in business, they're in, they might need some of your services somehow, some way down the road. Tell them, drop them a card, whatever they want, be there for them, help them out. Say, I got you covered, man, we'll take care of you. When can you meet? When you can come in for a meeting? Does Tuesday or Wednesday work at around noon? Or 10 o'clock in the morning, whatever you want. Give them a couple times, the key is learn to sell. Your services, if you are a creative type or even, if you're learning, it's okay to sell your work for free. You know what I mean? Do your work for free. You got to practice. It'll help you learn to sell. It'll help you get confidence in yourself. It'll help you get better at what you do. Become an expert. All right. It's gonna be invaluable. Just do work. All right. Get out there. Do some work. I don't care if you're getting paid. I don't care how much you're getting paid. If you are getting paid, if you get $10, great. Put it in a savings account for future purchases towards your career. Just do some work. All right. Get out there. Gary Vee. Hustle, he says, right? Get out there and hustle. Do it, whatever it is. Tip number three, learn to network, all right? Learn to network well. It goes along with the sales. You got to, go to the events. If you get out there. You got to get out of your house. You got to get outside. You got to meet people. You got to shake hands. Give them a good, solid 3-second handshake. Look them in the eye, firm. Hey, how are you? Give them a pat on the shoulder if it's called for it. Some people are weird about that stuff. It's okay, break the ice. It's, everybody's nervous about breaking the ice, and tell them a joke. Have a couple jokes on deck ready to go. If you do go to an event, have your jokes ready. Have something to break the ice. People want you to do that, Basic things like showing up on time. Whenever I went to networking events, when I was really active and trying to get ahead in the business and trying to meet everybody, and, I don't do that as much these days. I should more often now. But I got a decent deal going on. When I was really I had nothing together yet. I was trying to just claw away at the business, get in somewhere. And for example, I went to an event in Boston, Chamber of Commerce event, right? Summer soiree or whatever it was. And man, I got there early. Every event I went to, I was the first one there. I looked like a dork, but you know what? I met everybody. And the other people that showed up early, I'd go and say hi first. And I'd say, hey, we're both here early. It's kind of awkward, but what do you do? And well, how's it going? Be friendly. Tell them a little joke. It's awkward. Everybody's feeling weird. It's a weird situation when you're in a room, 150 people you don't know. So that first event though that I went to, all right, I met the whole room, and these 3 guys that I went up and talked to, make sure you have cards. If you have a portfolio, make sure it's online. If you are already in the business or doing work, make sure that your stuff is accessible. I met 3 guys from an ad agency, and I was dying to work for an ad agency. Man, I ended up, they needed some work done, video work. I said, okay, yeah, whatever you need, I'd love to do it. Whatever, I don't care. I didn't say I don't care about the price, but I didn't care about the price. I was just gonna do some work. And it was an ad agency. They said, come by tomorrow for a meeting. I said, I'll be there. I got there 15 minutes early to the meeting, shake hands. The guy gives me, these guys give me $10,000 worth of work. Then that next day, it changed my world, changed my whole life. That enabled my business to go from, I was working at a sandwich shop, but I'd been shooting videos for, years since college, and I was, making no money a week. All of a sudden I get a $10,000 payday. It wasn't all at once, it was per video, but $10,000 worth of work over a couple months was huge for me, huge. So, and it gave me the confidence to move on. Anyways, all from networking. But when I was going to network, I studied that stuff, man. I was looking up every trick in the book about how to network, all right? Do research on that stuff. Go learn how to do it. Learn to network. Tip number 4, read books, all right? Read lots of books. Don't be that guy who doesn't read books, all right? Be the weird guy, I guess, nowadays who does read books, and read lots of books on everything. It's going to give you more to talk about when you do talk to people. It's going to expand your mind and open up your creative processes a little further. Read books about everything, fiction, nonfiction, especially business books if possible. Learn all about different, aspects of business in general. If I got my MBA in finance, weird, but I got it, it helped me look at what to read. And I'll do videos later on specific books that I'm going to recommend. But go read right now. Just go, whatever you do. I like to read in the bathtub. I'm a bath guy. Hey, I'm a bath man. I love taking baths. I read in the tub. I read a lot in the bathtub, and I read out of the tub. And I read blogs, and I read, fiction, nonfiction. Not as much fiction as I should, but I read mostly nonfiction. I read a lot of poetry. I love poetry. I'm a romantic. What can I say? Hopeless. I read books about everything. Anything I can, but mostly a lot of business stuff. So we're talking about books, finance books. I read marketing books. I've read accounting stuff. I've read. I'll go through it later, but go read books, all right? Read lots of books. It's going to help you learn to write better. It's going to help you in all different aspects. I don't know. What am I going to say? Read books, Read books, all right? Tip number 5. This is the big one. Be a good listener. That means active listening. That means nodding when people say stuff to you. That means paying attention. That means asking them questions about things. When you're marketing, all right? Now, these other ones I've been talking about are kind of general, but when you are either in an agency setting, when you're in a business in-house marketing type role, if you're trying to get in a position like that, you need to be a good listener and you need to pay attention and remember what people are saying, process it. Don't be the know-it-all guy. Don't try and take up every word in the conversation. Let them tell you things. Ask them. Be interested in everything people say. Basically, how you ask questions about what people are saying is how they'll understand what you know and how smart you are and how good you are at creativity, how creative. It's a weird thing, but if you have to tell people things, they're not going to listen. If you ask them questions about things, they're going to understand that your depth of knowledge goes much deeper, much further than what they were anticipating often. So they're just going to know that you are a good guy to talk to, girl to talk to, smart, funny, like to listen. Hey, good person. I want them on my team. I want them around me. Bring them back more often. They are good. That's what people like, and you got to be likable. It's part of networking. It's part of sales. It's part of being a good on a team. Be an active listener. Be a good listener. Do your team a favor. Do everybody else around you a favor. Try not to talk so much. Try to listen more. Ask questions more. It's going to help you all around. But especially when you're in a business setting in marketing and either you're going to learn more. Any role that you have, all right, in business and marketing. Bonus tip. They always have them in these videos, right? They gotta have a bonus tip. This bonus tip is check your ego at the door. Check your ego at the door. Nobody wants to, some kid, or even if you're older, nobody cares about your ego. They don't care about your darn ego. They don't care that you have done all kinds of stuff before, that you've done this. Oh, of course you've done this. Oh, of course you've done that. Oh, you know everybody, huh? Oh, I'm sure. Go get coffee like somebody who loves to get coffee, all right? I'm the best at getting coffee, all right? When I was on the bottom, and I still do it. I don't mind. You think I mind getting coffee? I will take notes on exactly what everybody likes. And you know what? With the second time I get a cup for somebody who's really important or whatever, and especially if I'm like directing a set and I go get somebody coffee, they know the director's getting them coffee. If you're going to get a second cup of coffee, remember how they liked it before. That impresses everybody, all right, the heck out of people if they know that you paid enough attention to them, how they like it. Write everything down. Instead of walking to go get things, run. And I'm talking a lot about I'm drawing from my experience on a film set as a production assistant. But in any business situation, if you are leading a team, right, and you got a bunch of people and they say, oh, how are we going to write this stuff down? We got no pens in this room, blah, 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 something stupid. I'm going to run and get 10 pens, chuck them on the desk and say, where were we? Let's get moving, all right? High five. You want pens? I got 3 different colors of pens. No problem. You think I'm better than to get pens for my team? No. I would do anything for the team. You know what I mean? Even if I'm just the odd guy out. if I'm, you know, whatever people need, you know, go and be that guy who's Johnny on the spot. Run for things. Go run, get back as fast as you can. People really appreciate it when you're out of breath when you come back for some reason. I don't know. They want to see that the effort is there, that you care, that you're trying, that you want to be there, that you want to be on the team, and you are willing to do whatever it takes to make the best product possible, that you will do anything for this situation and whatever it is. Be that guy, all right? If you're doing all this stuff, all 5 of these things, you're going to get ahead. People are going to notice you. They're going to want you there more often. They're going to want you around them. You're going to get the job. You're going to be the one to get the promotion. You know, it's about soft skills, but it's also about hard skills. If you're the one, you know, when I was younger and I didn't have enough money to pay for Adobe, you know, the Photoshop, it was like $2,500 for the suite, but I had to learn it. So I found ways to access it, I'll say, all right? I found ways to get access to it, and I learned, and I watched videos and tutorials, and I practiced and learned software. When I was learning Word and Excel, and, you know, I went to an alternative college, Burlington College, recently defunct, but I learned to write. I wrote so many stinking papers there. I'm a master at Word. I can format anything, columns, different, you know, I know where all the bullets are. I know where all the formatting stuff is. I know how to indent every different which way. I know it's only Word, all right? I know that. But some people don't know. It's surprising when I see people who don't know how to type well. All right, if that's you, learn to type very well. It's impressive when you can type. You know, I used to have competitions with people in the office. I love that. You know, who can type faster? It's so much fun. And then there's always people who can't really get in. You know, they're embarrassed, they're shy. They can 20 words a minute, 30 words a minute, and you're typing 60, 70, 80 words a minute. My mom, 90 words a minute. All right, the woman is the fastest type I've ever seen. And she can talk to you while she's doing it. And she can take dictation as fast as you can talk. She can type. It's nuts. Be that person, all right? If it's just typing that you're really good at, if you're not good at it, get good at it. If you're not good at softwares, go learn. Be excited and hungry and hustle. Just like, you know, you hear elsewhere. Learn to do this stuff. Get involved, get excited, and go and get to work. And don't forget to like and subscribe. You got to do that. You know, it really helps. I didn't really learn how important it was until I was a YouTube creator. Plus, there's gonna be some big stuff coming out on this channel. I got plans. All right, I'm almost done with one of them. I'm gonna announce it soon, but it's almost done, and I think everybody's gonna be excited about it too. So I hope so. But I got a lot of stuff coming up. You're gonna get involved. Click the like button, click subscribe, share the videos, send it to somebody else. Say, hey, there's this guy on, there's this guy he's good. He's a good guy to listen to. See you later.